Hello, welcome to Accessorize Your Life, where aging gracefully and accessorizing your life meets. I'm Julia. It is time to shop my stash for the third week of March, and I did not do it the last week, so these things rolled over from the first week of March. And before we start, I want to say thank you all for tuning in to the afternoon or the spring afternoon tea party. That was a blast to do. I am just still getting over all the fun I had putting it together for you. I hope to do more of those. I want to thank the host, which was Renters Love Luxury, and yeah, it was fun. So let's get going here, guys, because I don't want this to be long. I used, like I said, everything for about 2 weeks. Mostly the NYX Born to Glow. You know I love this. It is a really smooth, hydrating under eye concealer for me. It has that sponge applicator that a lot of folks don't like, but I don't mind that at all. It doesn't tug at my under eye. It keeps them hydrated, and it does help hide the darkness. So yes, it's a keeper for me, but I'm going to return it to my stash. And with it, I use the By Terry hydrating powder. It's the hyaluronic under my eyes to set this concealer, and this does not dry out my under eyes. It's a perfect shade. It even brightens my under eye area, so this is a keeper. Both of those items I would repurchase. Actually, let's put this here. The Hourglass Veil Setting Spray, I did not get much use out of, but it's going to remain here. These two Believe Beauty pots here, I did not use. They're going to stay, those eyeshadows. And most of these things just stay along the front here. This is a new addition, the Anastasia Beverly Hills. This is the lip gloss in sepia. I do like it. I'm going to keep it here because it's a nice neutral to have on hand. Let's get into these eyeshadows, because as you know, I pulled about 3 sets of eyeshadows. Each set was from the same company. Let's start with Believe Beauty. These are great shadows for the price, and just great shadows, period. I like the colors a lot. I like the performance, and I like the feel of the shadows. The only one that's a little dry is this navy color here in this one that's called Into the Blue, but it's still usable. I am going to get my money's worth out of these, more than my money's worth out of these. Guys, I almost felt like I wanted to go to Dollar General and just pick up another one of these just to have it as a backup. I know I don't need to do that, but that's how much I liked it. So these are going to return to my collection or stash. So in the buggy they go. I'm keeping all of those. No surprise here that these 2 palettes by Black Radiance are gotta go. They have to be trashed, because, I mean, just not decluttered, trashed, because they are long overdue for that. The shelf life, I'm sure, is expired long ago. I do not see how long you should keep them, like how many months or anything on these, but I've had these way too long, and they're dry, too shimmery for me. Bye. These 3 from Ulta Beauty. My least favorite would be these 2, the Sunset Skies and the Everyday Faves. Not only does this one not show up on me, this one doesn't either, but this one just did not last. I'm going to insert pictures same day, same eye look. You can barely see the shadows, but then after 4 hours, you can't see anything. I want you to take a look at the circled areas. And even here, gone, no shadow. 4 hours later, excuse the hair on the eyelid. And this is after applying more eyeshadow, nothing. So, I don't know. I definitely want to keep the Midnight Vibes. These 2, I don't know. Don't be surprised if you never see these again. They will be decluttered for now. So guys, that's it. That's the review of everything I used. Did I mention the MAC Painterly? It worked well. I only questioned it when I got to this everyday, was it this Everyday Faves or this one? It was the Sunset Skies. When I got to this one, the one you'll see, or you've seen in the little pictures I inserted, these two colors here. Why am I swatching the same hand? These two did not stay on my eyes. 4 hours they were shot, and it made me question the MAC Painterly, but it did all right with the other colors. The Believe Beauty I had no problems with. So it's this, and it's got to go. Bye. This I'm keeping, so this can go back to my stash. So can the MAC Painterly. Okay, now it's time to see what the computer generated for me. I've already pulled them, so it's going to be easy breezy, and let's do that. Okay, we're back. I want to mention that there's still no verdict on what to do with Amrezy, this palette by Anastasia Beverly Hills. I have not opened it. I have just not felt the need to do anything with it. So back in my stash it goes to look at or deal with at a later time. Alrighty, so what did the computer generate for me? First of all, I had the Brighten Up Color Correcting Concealer, Medium Deep, by Believe Beauty. That was picked for me. I have for powder, I have loose powder Black Opal in 04 Dark, and it says it's a finishing powder, but I use it, you know, however I like, under my eyes or whatever. Next, for foundation, because I said I'd pull one this time, it generated the Ulta Beauty Moisturizing Foundation Stick, and I have it in Dark Warm. This is a good time to use something like that, so I'm glad it came up now. For my under eye, or my eye primer, I have the Ulta Beauty Matte Primer, and this was in my Pan 20 for 2020. I did pretty good with this. I'm about here, so I'm glad to pull this back out and get some more use out of it. I have an additional powder, and it is the Becca. Becca, as you know, is going out of business. Everybody's talking about that, but you still can find it at the discount stores like Marshalls and TJ Maxx. This is the Perfect Skin Mineral Powder Foundation. So I have actually a pressed powder foundation right here in addition to the stick foundation. So yeah, I'm happy about that, because you don't always want to use that creamy stick foundation. Like I said, it's okay for right now, because we're even supposed to get snow on Monday night. But between the two, I should be good. And then for my eyeshadow palette, look what it pulled for me. This palette from Buxom I put together, a long time ago. And look at those jewel tones. Let's go through them. Here you have this beautiful color here. Close to my skin color, but still it's quite pretty. This purple. I think with these colors, you know what? I'm thinking just to wear them as standalone shades. That's like a teal. This one is a green. Kind of breaking up on me. Can you see that one? It's green. And then I put in two neutrals, so I can get a transition shade out of this palette if I so need to. Got two to choose from there. So who knows? You can barely see those, but I'm going to make good use of this. I'm going to enjoy these colors. I'm going to wear them to work. I think it'll be fine as long as I just don't get too busy with it. Just use one color and maybe a transition color. It'll be fine. I'm counting on it to work. I'm happy about it. I think I'm in good hands with that palette. And here for my concealer for my face, the Poreless Putty by e.l.f. I like this. It does help to kind of spackle my large pores, so yay to that. I'm looking, again, excited about that. And the last item in my shopping cart here is the iconic London Blaze Chaser Face Palette. So it looks like I have some bronzing or contour, a little bit of that in here, in this one for sure. And then I have some bronzer or even some blush here. So I've never used this before. I think I swatched one. This was a gift to me, so we'll see what happens with it. Alrighty, guys, now it's time to go into my stash and choose something for myself. My favorite part. Let's do that. Okay, here we are in my palette drawer. I know it looks like a jumbled mess, but it makes sense to me, and I'm going to dig in here, and I think I'm looking for something. Oh, this is new. I'm looking for something like this. Something with colors that will just sparkle for the month of March. So I think I'm going to pull that. And then let's compare some of these. I have the Huda Beauty in Emerald Obsession. You know, I never really liked that palette. I liked the way it looked, but it never worked for me. And then I have one of these Stila singles, or there's two colors in here. Oops. So we're going to try this one right here. Hope it's in focus. It's a green palette. So as you can see, I'm looking for something pretty much for the holiday. Guys, I'm hoping that this Revolution palette works for me. Hope it's in focus. There we are. I'm hoping it works for me because I have not had luck with Revolution. I can't say that. I did have good luck with this one. This is the Revolution Makeup for London. This is the Courage palette. I really like this. But as far as buying something relatively inexpensive by Revolution, this chocolate custard, and I love my neutral colors, but this one just really has no staying power, and I want to get rid of it, so might as well declutter it. So why do I keep it in there? But I picked this up thinking, oh, the palette is so pretty that it would be beautiful for this month. So, but it's kind of dark. What do you think? I think this was out about 10 months ago. They released maybe 4 or 5 of these. And I think my Ulta had this one and one other one left. But I thought this would be perfect to try for the month of March, being that we have a holiday in there that everyone likes to wear green or do everything in the shades of green. So this is what I'm going to, let's swatch it, think about. Ooh, that's strong. That's kind of patchy though. Can I get in focus? Is that the same one? Yeah, that's the same one. Let's try this one. You know, I can't tell them apart. This one's lighter. Let's look at this. Ooh. Ooh. I don't know. I don't know about this one. We'll have to see. Anyway, I have these 3 that are just mainly all green. And I think I need one more palette with some greens. How about one of Juvia's Place palettes? This Nomad palette has greens in it, but they're olive green. They're not the best greens for me, but let's pull it. Okay. Let's add this to my collection. So these are the additional palettes I'm adding, and I will play around with them and see how they work out for me. This is the Nomad by Juvia's Place. It is rather dull looking, to say the least. There's a lot of sparkle here, and these yellows and this orange, I guess, to kind of brighten up these army drabby greens. Probably won't do much for me, but I'll try it. since it's in my collection. This Stila here, this one is the Jade palette. Very pretty, but I don't know if it will work out for me either. I've been waiting to use this for a long time. This one doesn't show up so much, the matte. It's going to need some help, but this one does. It's kind of chunky, but I think if you really spread it out, that's the thing. They're either too chunky and sparkly or they're nothing. They're dull. It's hard to get a good green for my complexion. And here is the Huda Beauty Emerald Obsession palette. Loads of greens here. I think I've tried to work with this before, but maybe this one I haven't. So maybe this is the one that I should play around in. We shall see. And the one that I just picked up by Revolution Pro. Now this is supposed to be Revolution's top of the line. This is supposed to be their best of best. It almost reminds me of that luxury brand, Chantecaille, something like that. Yeah, very pretty. Look at the imprint there. Look at the various shades of green here. Will they work for me? I don't know. Let's put this one right here. Very dark. And which one did I use? I keep getting these mixed up. Let's do this one now, right by that one. Not much different on my skin. I don't know if you can see that, but anyway, we will see what happens with these. So there you have it, guys. Thank you for watching. I am going to add these to my tray and play around with them for this week. I don't know if I will be wearing them to work, but I definitely will be playing with them on my off days.